So in our school, Mid-Shellsburg, we have about 56% of students who are in sports. And most students are in more than one, so 2 or 3 sports. And no one in their right mind would call these students lazy or unfit. These kids are going and practicing 2 hours a night after school, sometimes going in on mornings, and weightlifting on their own time, practicing on the weekends and in the off-season. As you can see up here, we offer many different sports at our school, and they require many different skills. In cheerleading, you have to be flexible and strong enough to lift a person into the air. In cross country, you have to be able to run 2.5 miles or 3.1 miles at top speed. In soccer, you have to be able to run and sprint for long amounts of time and be really good at faking falls. And in swimming, you have to have lots of stamina and upper arm strength. So no one can argue that these kids are unfit, but we still make them participate in gym so they can get their daily recommended amounts of exercise, which they're obviously getting way more than that. That's why I think that participation in sports should count as gym credits. Making this change would be a good thing for many reasons. Mainly because it keeps athletes from getting overworked, can help prevent injuries, and gives them more room for classes they may need or want. When you let sports count as gym credits, it'll keep athletes from getting overworked, which can prevent a whole host of problems later on. Competing after a workout in gym is hard. I mean, like, everybody knows that fitness days suck, right? You have to go and you have to work out, and it's hard. But then imagine going and then playing a football game, or going and playing a basketball game, or going and wrestling. It's not fun, and when you're tired, you can't give 100% to your gym class or to your sport, and that hurts everyone in the long run, because then you start letting your team down. Being overworked and overtired can lead to injuries. If you're tired, then your footwork gets sloppy. If you're tired, then you can't run as fast, you're not as strong, and that can get hurt. If you're in soccer and you make one false step, you go down. Maybe you sprain your ankle and you're out for the entire season. Which leads me to my next point, which is that people get injured in gym classes, and you just can't stop that. There are people that have knee injuries from playing speedball and soccer. There's one person who broke her pinky, and it doesn't end there. I mean, if you get injured, you could be out for the entire season, and that's actually like heartbreaking to some people, because these athletes are putting their blood, sweat, and tears in their sports. And then being told that you can't play anymore is awful. So if we don't make these kids take gym classes, then we can prevent these types of injuries. Not only can getting hurt be emotionally painful for you, but it can also harm your team. If you lose one of your top point scorers, then the entire team suffers, and then everyone else has to work to pick up the slack, when it could have been prevented by just not making these kids take gym classes. Also, it gives space for other classes that you need. I mean, not all jocks are dumb, so I mean, some people want to take harder classes, and if you have to take a gym class, sometimes there are things you have to give up. Maybe there's like an art class that you really, really wanted to take. Maybe there's, you wanted to take finite math, and you couldn't because you couldn't fit your gym class anywhere else but where finite was. There are so many options for classes that we offer, and we're lucky to have a school that gives us these options. But if we can't take advantage of them because we're being forced into taking a gym class that we don't want or need, then we're losing all of this. If we take extra classes, we can get ahead in school while not losing this physical activity. Because like I said, we're already putting hours of our own personal time into it. Gym classes are to ensure that people get their recommended amounts of exercise. But these kids are already getting that and way more. They're enhancing skills that they need in their sports, like physical activity and like strength and speed. And they're also learning things that you don't get from school, like teamwork and responsibility and stuff like that. When I emailed a bunch of different coaches from different schools and asked them if they had this available to their students and why or why not. And this isn't a wide option in our district, but in larger 4A schools it is. The one in our district that I heard from was CCA that they said they did. And then I also talked to the activities director at Linn-Mar. And they both said that it was a good thing for their students, and they felt that the benefits were great, both athletically, keeping them from getting overworked and tired and then injuring themselves, and also academically because they can help themselves improve in their classes. I also surveyed about 30 students in our school, and every student surveyed in a wide range of people and groups agreed that athletes deserve these options. And over half of these people surveyed were not athletes themselves. As I've shown, making this change would be a good thing for so many reasons, mainly because it keeps athletes from getting overworked, which can lead to injuries that can hurt themselves and this team, and it gives them room to take other classes. For this reason, I think participation in school sports should count as gym credits. 56% of students are already in sports, and we already offer academic waivers, so it's time that we give the athletes the support that they need to be great.
Okay. No, I'm going to have to upload.